What's good, Dynastyers family? It's your boy, Darius Capers, aka Kung Fu Cape. Gotta go and get the introductions out of the way, man. Shout out to the Capers Cares Foundation. Please give them a follow on Instagram at the Capers Cares Foundation. You see them scrolling at the bottom. This is summertime, loving and loving in the summertime. And you know they doing it big for the students down in the Raleigh-Durham area. Please give them a follow so you can be tapped in all through the summer with what they have going on. Last but not least, please give us a follow, give us a sub, give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at the Dynastyers Podcast. Please give us a sub on YouTube at the Dynastyers Podcast. We are up to 350 subs. Would you believe it? This time last year, I remember I was saying we were up to 208, and I was just truly grateful for that. And the goal was 300, 3,000 on up. Now I'm at 350. The goal now is 400, 4,000, and keep on going and going and going and going until we can't anymore. And like I said, I'm just truly grateful, thankful to everybody that subbed, everybody that follows us on social media. We're going up, man. Like I said, welcome to the Dynastyers Podcast. Now, getting into the episode is going to be a short one. I'm not going to stay before you long. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I'm not going to bore you to death. But I do have to come and talk to y'all about something very important. You've been a follower of the Dynastyers Podcast for, like I said, since we've been doing this YouTube thing for about a year now. You remember this hoodie. And you remember this hoodie around this time last year. I had this Campbell University hoodie on. I came to talk to y'all. And I was sad. I was a sad Celtic fan. Yes, this is about my Celtics winning the championship again. So if you don't want to hear that, you go and peace on out now. But I'm here to talk about my Celtics because they won number 18. Yes, the Boston Celtics won title 18. And if anybody is ecstatic, it is your boy. I'm telling you, I am on cloud 9 right now. I just can't believe that they got it done because it was speculated, would they be able to? Do they have what it takes to win? Is Jason Tatum a winner? Will Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum coexist? Are they deep enough? It was so many people that chose the Dallas Mavericks to beat us. And that is why I am here to gloat. I am here to brag on behalf of my boys because they got it done, bro. They got it done, and it was such a great playoff run for us, such a dominant playoff run. Jaylen Brown showed that he is, like I said in the video this time last year, a top 20, top 25 NBA player, possibly even higher now. Jason Tatum showed that if it wasn't for that ankle injury last year, we might have went to back finals, but it's okay. And last but not least, Al Horford, big Al Horford, finally got his championship ring. I saw something that said now James Harden is the active player that has the most playoff games played without a championship. It was Al Horford, but now it's James Harden. So, I'm a big James Harden fan too. Hopefully he gets one. But we're not talking about James Harden right now. We're talking about Al Horford in the Boston Celtics. And if you remember that video as well, like I said, about a year ago, I came here and I talked to you guys for roughly 25 minutes on what I think the Celtics need to do going forward. The title of that video was Boston Lost, Now What? The title of this video will be Boston Won the Title. Now what? So now that I'm getting all the celebratory stuff out of the way, like I said, Boston won the championship. My shirt's in the mail. My hat's in the mail. I got the whole little Boston Celtic championship package. Now what? So first and foremost, I was glad to see that, like I said, Jaylen Brown, He showed everybody that $300 million contract he signed last offseason, which is what I said Boston needed to do. He showed he's worth it. He showed he can be a 1A, 1B, or a number one option on a championship level team. So with him showing that contract was worth it in getting this championship, that validated it. Now it's time for Jason Tatum to get his mega deal, which will probably be about $320 million. He's been all NBA numerous times already in his young career. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. One of the things I mentioned numerous times on shorts and videos on the TikTok at the Dynastyers podcast, if you can't find it, try Darius Capers 1212. I've said numerous times, the Boston Celtics they must re-sign Derek White. Derek White was such an integral part of this playoff run, of this amazing season that we had. All defensive team, him and Jrue Holiday. That was one of the best backcourts, definitely in the league this season, but probably that we've seen in a while. Derek White was one of the league leaders, if not the league leader at the guard position in block shots. And Jrue Holiday's defensive ability speaks for itself. We have to get Derek White's contract done. Porzingis already signed his deal during the season. I believe it was a 2-year, $60 million deal with an option on that second year. So next season will be a guaranteed year. Then he'll have an option. Jrue Holiday got that 4 years, $140 million, I believe, something around that range. So 2 of the starting 5 already got their deals. Like I mentioned, last offseason, Jaylen Brown got the richest contract in NBA history. That's 3 of the 5. Derek White and Jason Tatum contracts need to get done. Tatum's I'm not worried about, but Derek White's I'm a little worried about because I can see him getting a contract somewhere in the realm of a 4-year, $100 million, $110, $120 million. He could be a third option on certain teams. A team like, I know they don't have cap space, but the Lakers. The Lakers could use a Derek White. The Lakers could use a defensive guard that shoots 35, 36, 37, 38% from 3, close to 40% in the playoffs. They could use a guy like that. Another team that could use a guy like that in the backcourt is a team that we beat on the way to the playoffs, a team like Miami. Miami could use another guard, another guy that can create, that can score, be 15, 16 points a game. We have to get that contract done, guys. We have to. Another thing that Boston has is draft capital. Draft capital is another thing they have, which is surprising because they didn't have a first-round pick last year, but they do have their first-round pick this year at 30. They also have a second-round pick. And I've been scouring prospects for the last 2 days. That would be great fits for Boston, great fits for their system. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Al Horford coming back for year 18. Love Al Horford. He's a great player, but we need to look to get a backup big that can play. Guys in that range of players that we should look at with that pick 30. One of the guys that I really, really like, Deron Holmes II out of Dayton. Man, he played well in the tournament. He's a two-way big. He can stretch the floor. He can create off the dribble a little bit. And he's a paint guy. Had a game in the tournament, I believe. I was looking at it earlier. What did it say? 23, 11 boards, 3 assists. Like, come on. 4 stocks, steals and blocks. That was an amazing game. And to make it even better, it happened against Arizona. So it was a quality team. I was like I said, I was doing a little research. He shot 38.6% from 3. So if that's something that he can build on with Al Horford being in year 18, he can replace Al Horford going forward. He can hopefully space the floor. He can hopefully bring that stocking defense of steals and rebounds, which is something that Al Horford brings to the Boston Celtics. We need a guy like that. 23 and 11. Not expecting him to be a 20 and 10 guy with Boston, considering he's not going to get as many shots as he probably did with Dayton. But being a junior, being 21, he's an older prospect. I like the thought of him possibly fitting in that Al Horford role, maybe playing next to Porzingis, maybe being Porzingis' backup. Another guy that I really liked, and again, like I said, I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes. Man, if we want to get shooting, more shooting on the wing, you can never have too much shooting. Boston lived and died by the three this year. A guy by the name of Johnny Furpey, 6'8" wing out of Kansas. I truly feel like he has two-way potential. And the team in the 20s like us, team in the 20s to the 30s, we definitely can look at him for shooting, and I think he can provide that at the next level. Now, he's going to have to put a little muscle on, but if you remember, Jason Tatum came in as a 6'8", 6'9", lanky wing, and he put on muscle in the Boston Celtics training and development program. So I could like the thought of a Johnny Furpey playing between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum at that 3 spot, depending on, what happens going forward. Drew Holiday's older. Maybe Derek White gets too expensive for us. You never know. We can always look to bring in another guard, another wing to play that position. Last but not least, that we do have that second round pick. And again, like I said, I'm just scrolling because I've been scouring, man. Another guy that I really like in the second round, we pick it, I believe, 54. Believe it or not, it's Dallas's pick, believe it or not. But KJ Simpson, he's another junior, another older guy coming from college to the NBA. He's 21. He's a 21-year-old junior. He's a scoring guy off the bench. We haven't been able to find another guard to come off the bench to give us offense when we need to give our guys breaks. I mean, I was expecting, like I said in my video last year, we got to give Peyton Pritchard more minutes, and he did get more time this year with that contract extension, but he didn't score in the playoffs like I thought he would. I guess maybe him being smaller, once defenses ramp up, it's kind of hard. It's tough, man, So maybe adding another small guard might not be the best. I don't know, but I like his shooting ability. I like his defense at the college level. That's why I was throwing that out there. He's also a pretty solid playmaker at the college level. Another guy, like I said, this is the last potential guy that I am going to throw out. Like I said, we pick a 54, and one of the players I liked that came on strong in the college season later on in the year was Justin Edwards from the University of Kentucky. 6'6" wing, 210, a good-sized body, good game. And he reminds me a little bit of a Justice Winslow. And then what I'm looking at now, the draft, the mock draft I'm looking at now compares him to James Young. I don't know if you remember James Young out of Kentucky. See, like I said, I'm a big college basketball fan. I remember when James Young was cooking at Kentucky, and I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him in the second round. He's a scorer from the mid-range, but he also has potential to be a really good defender. That's why I compare him to Justice Winslow, because Justice Winslow at Duke, man, he was checking the 1 through the 4. I feel like Justin Edwards has that potential. He definitely needs to work on his shot selection, definitely needs to work on playing off the ball. Those guys that come in as 4 and 5-star guys, they're not used to playing off the ball. They're used to being the guy. So I understand it kind of probably took him a little time to get used to that at Kentucky. But I feel like if he comes into the league, comes into Boston, and has a role, I feel like he can excel at his role. Man, James Young. I remember James Young. He was a solid player, bro, in college. But man, yeah. When I tell y'all, bro, I'm just so excited because I stayed up last night, like I said, and I watched that video from last year that I made. Boston lost. Now what? And now I can come here and say Boston won the title. Now what? It's such a better feeling going into the offseason thinking, how am I going to defend the title versus how am I going to get back to trying to compete to win the title. And it just feels so good seeing Jaylen Brown hold that Finals MVP up. And people were talking junk about what Jason Tatum was saying, what they're going to say now. Everybody said stuff like that. We did it. They did it. I mean, 7 years in the NBA, and they've been saying he can't win. He's not a first option. I mean, do I need to go through all of the stuff that happened? Like, he was a young player, came in, him and Jaylen Brown were trying to figure out their way. 2018, they play LeBron. We're up 3-2, have not lost a game at home the entire playoffs. LeBron goes nuclear in game 6, ties it up 3-3. We come back home. Although Jason Tatum has one of probably his best highlight plays of his career up to this point by dunking on LeBron and bumping him, LeBron went nuclear in game 7 and had a triple-double and beat us. That was supposed to be one of the years we made it to the finals. Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. Where can I begin with that disappointing of a team? Terry Rozier off the bench. All of these guys. We had so much talent on that team, and it just never came to fruition. The season where it seemed like everybody was healthy, we lost in the second round to, I believe it was the Bucks. In 5 games. I believe it was 5 games. 6 games maybe. Kyrie didn't want to be there. He leaves. We bring in Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker was supposed to be that guy. He was supposed to be that guy that bridged the gap from Kyrie to them. And that team just underachieved, man. And then when he ended up leaving, we tried the Tatum and Brown-led team with Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. And although they made it to a finals, although Marcus Smart was a defensive player of the year, we just ran into a buzzsaw that's Steph Curry. And then last year, when we ran the team back and we were one of the best teams in the league, we were fighting for the 1 seed all year. We go down 3-0 to the Miami Heat. We fight back to game 7, and Tatum twists his ankle in the first quarter, and he's a shell of himself for the rest of the game, and we lose. And they're calling one of the biggest choke jobs because we lost to an 8 seed when that was supposed to be our finals. And I mean, I don't know. That's why this championship means so much to Boston Celtic fans, bro. Especially those that have been there from the Big 3 or prior to the Big 3 when Paul Pierce was the only guy on the team and he was averaging 26, 27, 28 a game. And they were losing in the first round or they weren't making the playoffs, to getting the Big 3, to winning that championship, to seeing Kevin Garnett blow his knee out the next year and us lose to Orlando Magic, to him coming back and us making it to the finals and losing to Kobe, to us losing to LeBron and the Miami Heat, to us trading away the Big 3 for all these draft picks till now. It's like, bro, this is icing on the cake, bro. This is truly icing on the cake. Now, do I think the Celtics will repeat next year? I don't know. I have to see how the offseason goes because I feel like there's going to be a lot of change. I could see a world where maybe the Suns move one of their Big 3. I mean, I know they said they're going to run it back, but they lost in the first round. Are they really going to run it back? I don't know. I could see a world where a team like maybe Denver looks to make a move. I could see a world where a team like Miami looks to make a move. Is Jimmy Butler going to come back? Or are they going to look to replace him? I would like to see what team gets Paul George. Is Philly going to give him a max? Because if they bring in Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid is going to be comp. What is Cleveland going to do? Is Cleveland going to make Donovan Mitchell their full-time point guard? Move Darius Garland to get a piece? Move Jared Allen to get a piece that fits a little better next to D. Mitch? I don't know. What is Orlando going to do? What is the Pacers going to do? I believe it's already been reported that Siakam agreed to his max contract with them. He's going to sign close to $200 million with them. I think it's like 190 something, 195, 191, something like that. They have their team run back. What else are they going to do? They have to make another move. They have young pieces to trade. What are the Knicks going to do? I feel like Paul George would be a great fit with the Knicks. But what are they going to do? Are they going to look to move their guys? Or are they just going to run that team back with OG and Julius Randle? I think that'd be the worst decision they could do. But I say all that to say, what are the Bucks going to do? Chris Middleton, are they going to run that team back? Dame, Giannis, Chris Mid, and just hope for health? Like, I say all this to say, the East is going to be difficult next year. I don't see everybody getting hurt like they did this year. If they do, then I mean, hey, what do I know? But it's going to be a tougher road than it was this year. And I want Boston to try to make a move to prepare for that, because Porzingis' health is scaring me already. It's scaring me already. We got the championship now, but going forward, his health scares me. And that's why at 30, if Deron Holmes is there, if we're able to trade up and get him, I feel like he could be a good gap bridger between Al Horford's age and Porzingis' health. So I think we need to look to shore up the front court, though. I think we do. I really, really, really think we do. And Drew Holiday's not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger. I mean, that three ball is not going to go anywhere, but I feel like we should do something to try to help him defensively. And I think bringing back Derek White could be that. So, or we could just, try to swing for the fences and bring in another star. But I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to mess up what we got going on. But now I'm just rambling, man. I'm just a happy, rambling Celtic fan. I don't know what we're going to do, but we got to do something because we got to defend this title next year. So, yeah, man, like I said, I had to come and bring this video because Boston won. They didn't lose. So I can come and brag this year. It's not a thing of got my hood on, I'm sad, I'm talking about what Marcus Smart. Nah, bro. Hood off. Waves is busting. I'm smiling. I'm happy. But I just had to put the same hoodie on to let y'all know that I keep receipts. And I remember what all of y'all was saying about my Boston Celtics. And look at us now. What they gonna say now? Hey, man. But like I said, I won't go stay too long. I ended up staying almost as long as last video, and that's a good thing. But, man, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I remember making this video when I had 200 subs and over 350 subs just in a year, 150 subs in a year, man. I never would have thought I'd be at this point with this platform. I truly, truly thank you guys. Please, please, please keep helping me go up. Keep helping us go up. Like I said, sub on the YouTube channel at the Dynastyers Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the Dynastyers Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at the Dynastyers Podcast, or try Darius Capers 1212. And give the Capers Cares Foundation a follow on Instagram, man. They're doing it big this summer. They have a lot of stuff coming this summer, bro. You don't want to miss it. And make sure you sub to us because we Celtic fans. And we're going to be following the NBA. And we're going to be following the NFL. You know how we do with the NFL episodes. That's coming back soon. Real soon. I can't wait for the NFL season. I got to see what my New York Jets going to do, man. But until then, it's your boy Cape. Hope you have a good evening. Peace.